Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of A Man in a Van with a Pan. I'm your host, Joey Tuna, and this week I'm in Rockland, Maine. My friend, Chef Alex MacDonald, is on board today, and we're cooking
Oysters Escabeche.
Oysters Escabeche. Let's get going. All right, everybody, so big thanks to Chef Alex for coming on board today. Now, he has worked in some of the best restaurants in Boston and overseas.
Working in San Sebastian, Spain, which is like the Basque region, so you have French influences, you have the Spanish food, so it's a melting pot of culture. And going there, working at a place like Mugarit's, which is the 7th best restaurant in the world to date.
No big deal?
No big deal. Going there was like a giant shell shock of like flavors and seafood and seeing all this product that is just you never get to see here. And then learning from one of the best chefs in the world.
That's amazing. And thank you again for coming on the show.
Absolutely.
Definitely the most esteemed guest we've had on MVP so far.
The dish Oyster Escabeche is Spanish tapas or pinchos, and it is served on toast, and it is pickled oysters. I know it sounds kind of weird, but it's actually really delicious. We are using local Maine ingredients that we can make this beautiful escabeche out of. We're gonna create this dish as if I was gonna cook it in the restaurant. So
perfect.
Yeah.
I love it. I did give him the rules of the road, so we've got to use the pocket knife and we got to use the camping stove. So a far cry from the kitchens you're used to, but that's part of the fun here. I think you're up for the task.
I think we can manage.
I think we got it. So first step, we're going to prep our vegetables.
Yep.
We're putting carrot and onion into the dish.
What we're gonna do is we're just gonna take the skin off. It's actually a pretty sharp pocket knife, I'm not gonna lie. This dish is simple, but it's complex at the same time because the knife work has to be extremely precise. Sectioning it off so that when I cut it, it can be nice, even strips and dices. And then right down like that, getting long planks. And then you're gonna take that plank and now you're gonna cut strips. So this is where knife work is essential because this is called a baton. So we're gonna turn it from a baton into a brunoise, which is a small dice.
Okay.
About a matchstick thick.
Perfect.
In this case, this is the garnish in a lot of the flavor too. Take those matchsticks that we talked about and cut small little squares. About a centimeter. These are called brunoise.
I'll cut up the rest of the carrot.
Yeah.
So Chef Alex, tell us about how you got started cooking.
Yeah. It was always in the family. My father had a restaurant and, being a chef and stuff like that, you're always working with your hands and you're creating, and I wanted to create and really bring something to the table that's different. My father being a chef and learning from him and looking at him and looking up to him and seeing how much fun he had, it was a huge inspiration. Got my first job cooking when I was 14 years old.
Wow.
In just a local restaurant in my hometown back in Massachusetts. It just sparked, and that flame got ignited, and I just this was it. This is what I wanted to do. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take those carrots. We're gonna try not to get any color on it. It's called sweating. So sweating is medium heat. You get the olive oil warm, not like smoke. It's called sweating because you're just basically
getting water out
of the vegetable.
All right, perfect. Carrots are brunoise.
Nice. Beautiful.
And we're ready to sweat.
We're ready to start sweating.
All right. How do you know the oil's at the right temp?
With this, you can smell it. It's very neutral in the beginning, but once it adds heat to it, you start smelling the aromas of the olive oil.
So next step, we're going to cut up the onion.
Again, one knife. Cut the top off first. Cut the base. We're gonna go right down the middle. You have two halves now. Now we're gonna peel the skin off of it. This is just a white onion. It is a pretty neutral onion, but it adds really good flavor when it's cooked. You have your half moon onion, and we're gonna do segments through the middle.
Okay.
So basically you're forming a grid system at this point so that you can have your squares or your brunoise that we were talking about earlier with the carrot.
Gotcha.
Now you go down like this, and now you're just gonna
chop all the way down.
Chop all the way down, and you're gonna get the nice dices.
Got the nice dices, perfect.
So that's that. If you want to continue with that,
I'll take that over for you.
I'm gonna keep an eye on the vegetables sweating out right now. I won't season this with salt until all the vegetables are in. I want it to let that natural sugars and sodium in the vegetable itself like kind of release, and then I'll just taste it, and then I'll adjust seasoning to taste.
Okay. Onions, brunoise.
White onion, and we have some red onion.
And we have some red onion too. That we cut about half of each.
Yeah, a half of each. Again, putting everything in at different times because of the cooking process.
Perfect.
We're just gonna let that cook down a little bit with the onion and the carrot mixture.
Okay, we're making pickling liquid.
Yep.
We're going to hit the vegetables with it.
Yep.
For about 10 minutes.
We're gonna basically 10 minutes, and we're gonna bring that up to, I'm gonna raise the temperature, full throttle, open it all the way up.
Perfect.
Because we need high heat, because I need it to come up to a boil. In this case, we want a hot pickle to cook the oysters a little bit. Red wine vinegar for our process.
Red wine vinegar.
Domino sugar. We're gonna take the red wine. We're gonna need a whole cup. Pour it right in. So now we're following that 2-to-1 ratio. So I use 1 cup of vinegar. So now I'm gonna need 2 cups of water. And then we're gonna do 1 cup of sugar. And 1 cup of sugar.
Those vegetables are smelling good.
They are. And that's the thing about it. I haven't seasoned it, haven't done anything. It's just natural.
Yeah,
that's all natural. So everything's kind of getting translucent, no color. We're basically almost done, and I can put these to the side, let them cool down a little bit, and then we're gonna get our pickling liquid going. Because oysters are, they don't really have a crunch texture to it. That's why we're gonna serve it on bread, on toast.
Okay.
The sweated vegetables still hold their crunch, but they're not raw. So now we need this to come to a boil. While this is waiting for a boil, we're gonna do some oysters. We're gonna shuck some oysters.
All right, I'm getting out of the fridge. Okay, it's shucking time.
The time has come, my friend.
So this morning we took about a 40-minute drive down to the Damariscotta River, and we picked up these oysters from...
We got these from Scully's Oyster Farm.
Scully's Oyster Farm.
These oysters are appledore oysters, and they're out of the Damariscotta River, which, Maine, thank you for the Damariscotta River. It is like the mecca for oysters in all over the world. These are grown in brackish waters, and brackish waters are a mixture of salt and fresh water. So you get that salinity from the ocean, and then you get the beautiful, clean, crisp flavor from the fresh water that it is grown in.
We did a trial run on the shucking using the Swiss Army knife, and you found the bottle opener.
The bottle opener
is actually the most effective way.
Yep, because it has, most oyster knives do have like a tip like this, but with these hinges that you pop into, this actually works very well.
All right, show us how to shuck.
Take the blunt end, put it into the hinge, pop, twist, there it goes off. Scrape along the top for the abductor. Again, it's a little bit more difficult with this, but we're still getting beautiful oysters. And then clean the edges, and then take the bottom abductor off as well, so the oyster is free. So we'll shuck these 4 oysters.
So we did pick up a couple extra oysters, so I think we ought to sample them, because you said
we gotta try
chefs need to taste.
Chefs do need to taste. So
all right, so we're just going straight oysters down the hatch.
Straight oysters down the hatch.
Cheers, buddy.
Let's go.
That's delicious. I see what you mean though with the brinish, the saltiness, and the crisp freshness.
Yes. In the beginning, you get that saltiness, and it's still lingering at the end, but it's not like you just ate like a handful of salt.
Exactly.
You get that sweetness and the freshness and the clean, crisp taste at the end, and that's from the fresh water.
It tastes like we're by the seaside.
Yes,
sure. It feels like the Rocky Coast to me.
Exactly.
I'll tell you, it brings you right there. All right, I'm gonna try to shuck one.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going here. We get the hinge.
Yep.
And I'm a lefty, so I make everything difficult.
I see the top shot move. There you go.
There we go.
Perfect.
There's that pop.
There's that pop.
All right. We go. Now we twist.
Yep. Twist it, and then scrape along the top.
Scrape along the top.
Look at that. Not even a broken belly. Seriously. Wow. Very nicely done.
The bottle opener.
The bottle opener. Now I know. I've never done that before.
In a pinch.
In a pinch.
And that bottom abductor. Here we have.
And that's a beautiful shucked oyster right there. I would be very happy to serve that. Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Those oysters are very good.
Yeah, they are.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna shuck this one too.
Yeah, go for it.
Down. Get it real deep.
Yep. Pop.
Oh!
Look at that.
The
Look
pop.
at that. Nice job,
buddy.
Nice job. Just that was beautiful.
It feels crazy dangerous.
It is. It is very dangerous.
All right, buddy. We got one more. We really got to sample them out.
I'm actually gonna try something. Just give it a little.
Oh, here's the
Little
chef.
flare.
Yeah, load me up. All right, so we get a scoop of our
This would
What do we
be
call
our
it
mirepoix.
Our mirepoix?
So our diced brunoise vegetables, and then our pickling liquid over the top.
Look at this. Cheers.
Cheers.
And the veggies are still crisp.
Yep, exactly.
So crisp.
Yeah, but they're not like, it's not like eating a raw vegetable. Just that little bit of vinegar over the top is just like, now you're actually understanding the dish, and it's like something so simple, just amplify that oyster so much more.
Next level.
Exactly.
Next level. North Beacon Oyster, where you're working now.
Yep.
I went a few days ago. Delicious.
Thank you.
Oysters.
Thank you.
Butternut squash soup. Some crab croquettes. You guys really focus on sourcing your food locally.
Every Thursday in Rockland, there's a farmer's market right downtown. There's farms everywhere around here. But something that I love is seafood. And what you guys have up here is by far some of the best seafood. All the fish, all the oysters, it's all fresh and local. It's down the street. Here at North Beacon, we like to use fresh, all fresh, and we butcher it in-house, and it comes from Jess's Market right down the street.
And it really shows in the quality of the food.
Absolutely, yes.
Now, if you haven't been, please check it out. It's on Main Street.
Main Street in Rockland.
Main Street in Rockland, North Beacon Oyster. Hey, you can even peek into the kitchen and
Yes, you can.
and give Chef Alex a big hello.
Please do. Please come on in. So now we're going to take the vegetables. So what we're going to do now is we're going to season. We have some beautiful black salt and pepper. Pepper right here. And we're just going to go just a little bit around.
With that.
And we're going to do the same thing with the salt. And again, you don't want to add too much salt because you do have the natural saltiness in the oyster itself. We want the oyster to shine. So now we are going to take our bottle opener with all the liquor and all. It's going to go all right into this little cup. Oysters in. Now we're going to take the vegetables that we just seasoned. Just taste a little bit. Oh, very good. So now we're going to add this to the oysters, just to cover. With the pickling liquid, in this case, we took it off the heat, let it sit.
Yep.
It's still warm, but it's not boiling, so it's not going to overcook the vegetables, and it's not going to cook the oyster. So we're just going to take this, and we're going to pour it over just until the top. And now we're just going to cover it up and let it sit for about 5 to 6 minutes. We're going to fire up the burner again, and we're going to start toasting some bread. From the market, we got French peasant bread. So we'll get one that kind of fits in that. We'll get some butter melting in the pan. Going back to the chef's knife, we'll call it on this one.
Back to the chef mode. I like that.
Basically on medium heat, which is perfect. And now you can whisk it around a little bit, get the whole pan coated. And it's okay that the butter's still whole, and we're gonna put the bread in. Now we're just gonna let that kind of get nice golden brown and crispy on the edges. While we're waiting on the toast is that we're gonna pick some cilantro for our garnish. Pick the whole leaf, and we'll set it aside.
With the flavor profiles, why is cilantro good instead?
The oysters are fresh, they have a good crisp taste to them. This cuts the vinegar and kind of gives it a crisp, fresh,
That's great.
fresh taste.
What else could you use besides cilantro?
If you wanted to, if you had it, you can use parsley leaves. You can use fennel fronds. Let's check on this bread. All right, we're gonna flip the bread now.
So Rockland seems to have quite a lively food scene here.
They do.
I mean, going down Main Street, I was impressed with the number of restaurants.
Yep. That's what kind of drew me to Rockland. It's an up-and-coming city. A lot of young kids are coming up here with the restaurants. There's a bigger nightlife scene, and it's actually becoming the Portland of the North. To be honest with you,
I like that.
Yeah. So.
Hashtag Portland of the North.
There we go. All right, this bread is looking good. Nice golden brown. So now we're gonna plate. You want it to look good, but have fun with it. This is what escabeche is all about. We're gonna cut the bread by an angle like that. So you don't want all this liquid on top of the toast. So what we're gonna try to do is get the oyster, just like that.
2 oysters on each half.
Yep. Now we're gonna take some of that veg, beautiful knife cuts,
Drain off the
drain
liquid.
off some of the liquid, and like I said, that's gonna be the garnish. And now the cilantro, again, is just a green. It is always nice to have some green. It's fresh over the top, just like that. Jazz it up with, go around the plate a little bit. Just, have fun. That's all cooking is, just fun. Oyster escabeche.
Plated, we have Oysters Escabeche, made by Chef Alex MacDonald. Big thanks for coming down.
Thank you, man. This was awesome. I mean,
it's been a lot of fun.
Going to the oyster farm to doing this is awesome. Thank you.
It's been a great day.
It's been a great day.
Let's try it out.
Let's do it.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you again.
Boom. This is definitely the most gourmet dish that's come out of this van. I'll tell you that. But the buttery toast and the crisp veggies, plus the freshness of those oysters,
Yeah.
they really play together.
Yep.
Very excellent. The vinegar isn't overpowering.
It's very
A
soft.
slight tang there.
Yep.
In the cilantro, you're right. Cuts it.
Yep.
That cuts
Exactly.
that up. Alrighty. Well, you saw it here first. That's how you make oysters
Escabeche.
Escabeche. Delicious dish and relatively simple. So I'd like to thank again Chef Alex MacDonald. Thank you for coming into the van.
Thank you.
If you're ever in Rockland, come see him at North Beacon Oyster. It's right on Main Street. Tell him you saw him on a man in a van with a pan.
Thank you very
I'm
much.
sure he'll cook you up something special. Thank you very much for joining us this episode. Be sure to subscribe, click that bell for notifications, and tune in next Thursday where I'll be cooking up something new. I'm your host, Joey Tuna. Until next week, signing off.
That was the first time I ever used a bottle opener to do an oyster. That's your first time shucking an oyster?
Yeah,
There you go.
we got it.
You did it with a bottle opener.
Boom.
Like, that's crazy.